What's
What is
going
going on,
on,
everybody?
everybody?
My name is Reimanntv. This is Reimann, and welcome to Movie News. The only movie talks you
Oh,
need for
he
news and
stuffed it.
reviews.
Episode 75, we synced and then I let Lawson go and he stuffed it.
No, it was intentionally shit. I just wanted to say a bunch of things.
Success. Success, my friend. Oh, kind of like how some of our movies are just just put out as movies. So we have
Yep.
Night Swim, the newest horror film. If you've ever been scared of a swimming pool, get ready for that.
I used to
It's
get scared
something.
of my swimming pool when I was a kid. I lived in Alice Springs. You couldn't get further from the water. When Jaws came out, or when I watched Jaws as a kid, I was quite scared. And even the swimming pool scared me of Jaws, like had me scared of Jaws. So, but again, we've already
Wow.
covered how much of a chicken shit kid I was.
Imagine if Sharknado came out, how scared you'd be just to go outside. You'd be like, oh my God, there's a tornado with a shark.
It's windy. There's gonna be sharks everywhere.
Hilarious. And then we've got a Badland Hunters, the newest action post-apocalyptic film out of South Korea. I'm
Yep,
assuming,
it's a movie.
I just assume it's out of South Korea, not North Korea.
Yeah, I think it's a fair
Hmm.
assumption.
Yeah. And the newest Donald Glover production, which I feel like it's probably not his production, but he definitely had a hand in it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think it's the
Yeah,
third retelling of this story.
yeah, I think
Um,
so. I think the Brad Pitt Angelina Jolie one was the
the
second.
second, yeah. And we'll get into that very, very shortly.
Yes,
But,
it is Donald Glover's creation, by the way. He
oh, it
he
is.
produced it, was part of the writers. He's
Okay.
a big hand in the creation of it. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, then, let's jump in right into movie news because there's a couple of things now finally starting to get out. And because the last week was a little bit quiet, and you've had that little lull after the like New Year and all that, and you get the big blockbuster ones. But we have
Definitely.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is coming, which surprise, surprise. Which
Yeah.
this announcement I'm surprised about because Jim Carrey was like, "No, I'm done with like acting, etc."
Yeah.
But he's actually coming back as Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah. I've heard he really enjoys playing this character because it's not overly taxing. It's not like, the Grinch or some other characters where it's had to be in heavy makeup or had to totally change his mindset.
Okay.
Um, and it's supposedly quite a fun. I've heard that filming these are quite enjoyable for those who are involved. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
I think more to his point, he's only doing things that he's truly having fun with.
okay. Fair, fair. I number one was all right. I just couldn't work out why
I've
Sonic,
watched none.
even though he could get to his destination within like a couple of seconds, he decided to go on a road trip with a cop. It was bizarre. It was more of like a
Sure.
tale of like a friendship travel, which was weird. Two, I actually quite enjoyed, but I'm a big fan of Knuckles. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's get keen. So I'll see
I've
them.
seen neither of them. I know nothing
Okay,
about them.
fair.
Sonic was never an IP I cared about.
All right, I loved Sonic. And I
Yeah.
also had the comics. I still got some of the comics in a folder.
The Sonic comics.
Mm, yep, there's
Didn't
heaps.
know they were a thing.
Yeah, heaps of them. Also, staying on the sequel train, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F release date is now confirmed for July. So Eddie Murphy's coming back as the Beverly Hills Cop. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
More old things being rebooted. At least they're getting the OG characters in.
yeah.
Or is it both?
What do you mean?
Was Beverly Hills Cop a buddy cop thing?
No,
I can't remember it.
no. It was
Oh,
it
okay.
was it was focused just on him.
On him. All right. I honestly can't remember much about it.
Okay. Well, staying on trend, we have the newest Beetlejuice 2 title is
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. First poster is unveiled and it has a release date on it is the 9th of the 6th, 24. So it is coming out this year.
Yep.
Yep.
Which also means they're definitely going to be doing a third because you got to say his name three times.
Mhm.
So they're definitely setting up a trilogy here.
What's the years or the age gap between the original one and the new one? That'd be quite some time.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna put my
Beetlejuice
money
was
on.
1988.
Ooh,
So
okay.
what's that? 36 years?
Wow.
36 years?
I was going to say 15 years, but that's
Oh, bro.
far.
No. It's before I was even existed, Beetlejuice came out.
Yeah, right. That's insane.
Beetlejuice,
Crazy.
like Die Hard, is one of those movies that everyone has seen that I haven't.
Okay. There
I
you
just
go.
never got around to it. I've had students obviously talk about it. It's obviously a big cult favorite. People love it, but I've never been the biggest. Oh my god, what's his fucking name? Tim Burton. I like Tim Burton, but I never been like the people who like Tim Burton are fucking huge Die Hard fans and adore
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. But I've never
Yeah.
really been obsessed over him.
I like Beetlejuice. I'm not obsessed. I do like Tim Burton, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not in that realm of,
need to watch it. It's
Die Hard.
on. It is on my watch list.
Fair, fair.
It's
Henry
huge.
Cavill has a brand new movie. It's called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So he is he's on a rogue team in World War II. So he's going on a mission as a rogue team.
Oh, don't care.
Uh,
As soon as you mentioned war, I don't care about war movies. Nothing new is happening in the realm of war films.
okay, okay.
It's kind of
Uh,
why I didn't mind The Covenant because it felt a little different.
okay, yeah, we'll see. We have Millie Alcock lands the role of DCU Supergirl. So she was from the House of Dragons.
Oh, which one?
The first, you know how they swapped actors as they did the time skip? She was
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
before the young
As which? What was her name?
what was the name? The blonde one. It's been a while
What was the
since I've seen
character's
it.
name? The actor's name. I'll look her up.
Millie Alcock. Yeah.
Millie Alcock.
Yep.
Oh yeah, sure. Yep, yep,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
She's
From
Supergirl. Sure
yep.
thing.
I think she'll do her up.
I'll be surprised one day if they cast a superhero as some like ugly fucking Humpty back shit.
What?
Every
Okay.
superhero character needs to be the most beautiful, attractive. She's like a little fucking cutesy girl. Like,
Yeah.
I
That's how
don't know.
Supergirl's
Just
portrayed.
of course she is. Every superhero is my point.
Okay.
I'm just it's just another tick. Like I'm
No.
just waiting for the day that they cast some like horrendous looking fucking gross ass woman or man. I'm like, good on you. But I bet you it's for some character who's written as a gross character. It's not going to be a fucking superhero. It's going to be an anti-hero on the rage train this
All
morning.
right, cool. Well, to keep up that rage, the new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire trailer has ghouls, gags, and globs of slime. I've actually seen the trailer and it looks okay. Doesn't look great. It looks okay.
It's
I
going to be
think
possible.
yeah,
I'm so impressed Bill Murray is still attaching his name to Ghostbusters movies. How many are there now? I think we did this the other day.
yeah. There's a few.
I think five.
Five. I think this is the sixth. I reckon.
Yeah, I've already. I just found it in my search history. Five.
Yeah. And then
This is the fifth. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
Another franchise is getting its fourth movie is Despicable Me. So it's going
All
to
right.
feature family danger and an angry honey badger. So it's going to be the standard
Easy
family
money.
affair. Oh
Easy money. Gets the toys
yeah.
back out. Lots of merchandise. It's like Toy Story and Cars.
Yeah.
So easy money.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Croc crossover and they're going to have Minions and Despicable Me Crocs. It's 100% that that's going to happen. There's no
I'm
way it's
actually
not.
surprised they're not already.
There might be. I actually don't know. I know there's Cars ones.
Of course.
Yeah,
The
Lightning
Chow.
McQueen ones. And Maynard, is that the Ute?
Mater.
Mater? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not a fan of Cars. I don't like it.
Yeah, I
No,
don't love
why?
it.
Yeah. People love it. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. Let's get into our
Jimmy's forced to. His kid
yeah,
loves it, so he's seen it
yeah,
like 1,000 times.
true.
When he was in group chat talking about all like the psychology of the cars and
Mm.
the plot holes and shit in the movie because he's seen it 6,000 times in the past year.
He also likes racing though, so he probably gets like super into it. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what a turn! Let's go."
Yeah, I'm not sure about fucking what a turn in cars.
I think he does. I think he does. 100% he does. But anyway, let's jump in. Let's jump into the deep end with Night Swim.
Oh, nice.
I've been sitting on this.
That's one of your better ones.
I've been sitting on this one for a while.
Up till 4:30 last night writing that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, this is going to be god awful. And
Why does it exist?
let's get into it. A
Yep.
family moves into a new home, unaware that a dark secret from the house's past will unleash a male violent force in the backyard pool. To be honest, if someone's walked into a pitch meeting for this movie going, you know what? I want to do a clone of it, but instead of it being out on the street and a balloon, let's do it in a swimming pool. I would have
Yep.
been like, nah, you're not getting my money, bro. But
But it's Blumhouse. He'll give anyone the money.
yeah, someone's going, all right, that sounds like a great idea. Here's some money.
Well, it was a short film first.
It doesn't matter if it's a short film.
Well, it makes
It's
it worse. I'm sick of people grabbing short films like Lights Out. Lights Out is one of my favorite ever short horror films. The original Lights Out. It's only like 2 minutes long, and it gives me fucking goosebumps even right now thinking about it.
yeah.
And then they made a full length movie, and it's fucking boring. Same with Night Swim. I haven't seen the original Night Swim, but I've heard it's not a bad little, you know, quick little short story. And then this comes out with zero fucking plot. Anyway, we'll get there. But Jesus Christ.
It's got a loose plot. So the opening scene was okay. It was better than I thought it was going to be. The opening scene has the previous family in the house. They have a flash to two young children, sleeping all of a sudden to the pool. The pool is haunted, as we already know. You can gather that, but not spoiling it. I'm not even. I'm going to say I'm going to spoil this movie because it's not worth you seeing it. But
Oh, you see the trailer of the movie spoiled. I don't think.
no,
No, it's fine.
the pool's haunted. There's things that happen in the pool which then wakes up the child. The child's like, "Oh, I found your missing boat." Goes out there, gets dragged in, dies, and then we flash back to the new family looking for this new home. It's like, oh my God, look at this house. Also, why is it? I'm always like blown away by how big American houses are. Like
Yeah, it's
American
true.
houses are massive, and
They
like
actually are.
I went on a deep dive. I was like, I'm going to go look at real estate in
Yep.
America, like their realestate.com or whatever their equivalent is to
Whatever it is.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like all their houses are massive. I'm like, that's
Insane. I know.
insane.
I saw this big TikTok one day talking about American houses and how the goal for a long time in American architecture was just big,
Mm.
especially from the frontage. Like they built a lot of wide houses so that they look even bigger from the front, and they don't follow any of the architecture rules. There's no balance. There's no symmetry. There's no like weightage. Trying to actually like anyway. Besides the point, I'm not talking about architecture, but yes, American houses, especially in like suburbs like that, yes,
Yeah.
very much so. They're huge.
Yeah. Like when you get older, you start to look at these things and go, wow, that's a big house. That'd be nice.
Yep.
That's
There's a
nice.
fuck ton of windows, like symmetrical windows everywhere, and then like a
Yeah.
random round window for no reason. And yeah,
Yeah. But anyway,
American houses are fucking stupid.
I was just
I agree.
I was looking at the house going, that would be a cool house to live in.
Did you notice with the
Mm.
house, in between the garage and the house, there like because the house went, there was one continuous. It was like garage house was connected when you look at the house from the front. I went to IMDb and read like the trivia, and one of them is that they had to build like a because the house wasn't originally connected to the front, and they needed to for the plot supposedly, so they had to build like an adjoining wall. And knowing that when you see the movie, it is obvious because you can
Okay.
actually notice that the wall is different in between. Anyway, so
Okay.
there's why though? I didn't think it mattered for the story. There was no moment where they had to like run from the back to the front or the front to the back and they couldn't get through or
It had to be touching for it to be to be all connected.
I don't know.
But
I didn't see the point, but
then it didn't need to. My God. But
there's a
anyway.
lot. There's a lot of that movie that didn't need to happen, to be honest. But anyway,
Anyway, the Wallers are this family, so they're pretty much identical to the other family, just a different
yeah.
race. But they come in, they have two kids. They have just the opposite. So the original family they had a boy and a girl. I feel like the boy was older for some reason in the original
Uh,
family, but it doesn't matter. I don't care that much. But
it's
anyway,
irrelevant.
it's the same family. the husband and wife, and then there's the two kids. They move in. They're like, "Oh my god, this house is amazing!" And then they move in. Ray is the dad. He was a ex-pro baseball player who has an injury. I don't know why he has an injury, but
Yeah,
I can't remember
it's
if it was ever explained. He's got a
just quote
walking
unquote
stick.
injury. Yeah, he's on a
Yeah,
walking stick. I think it's a nerve thing because they talk about his nerves at one point. But
yeah, because they need the pool for his rehabilitation, and it's like
yeah,
very, very convenient that this house has a pool for him. So they
which supposedly is the only house ever with a pool. Like the way they behave about a big house selling with a pool, they fucking go ape shit about it. It's like there'd be so many houses for sale in these suburbs with pools. Like every second house would be fucking hell.
yeah, it's bizarre. Even to the point where this pool's like mesmerizing and he falls in and they have to save him. And it's like this
Yeah,
whole thing is so bizarre. And it was like it felt like they were struggling to fill out the time. So
100%.
we'll jump into it. We'll give the overview of the plot because we're we're nitpicking at the moment. They move in. They realize, oh, there's something not quite right about this pool because they have a pool party. The dad starts to get possessed, and he starts to all of a sudden show
That's like
signs.
halfway through the movie.
It doesn't matter. There was like lead up. There was lead up to it. Like there was little
Yeah,
bits
there's
and
like there's a
pieces.
boy swimming on his own and he sees the ghoul in the fucking filter. There's a girl swimming on her own who keeps seeing people pop up next to her. There's a woman swimming on her own who had the most horrible point of view shot I've ever seen where she's swimming and the camera's facing down into the pool and it goes like slowly up to the left, like you know, when you're doing freestyle. Freestyle?
Freestyle, yeah.
And you have to look to your left and to your right to breathe, or you only look one way. That's what the camera was trying to replicate, but it was going so slow, and it fucking I hated it, hated it. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so
And then yes,
you get your lead ups, and then the dad gets possessed. He goes a bit crazy because he can't leave. The mum all of a sudden finds out, oh no, someone actually died before, but the real estate agent never told him that. I feel like that is
no.
something that they need to tell you, like if there is a death in the
She
house.
said she didn't know. She said she found out after they bought the house,
Okay. I
which
feel like
seems convenient. But
is it like only a murder that needs to be
I don't know what
told?
the rules are because they're. I mean, look, my knowledge is purely based on other movies, which could make up their own fucking rules. But you do hear in some movies like look, it's my obligation to tell you that there was a family murdered here, 6 months ago, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a rule or not. I've never heard that rule besides in movies, so
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
fucking know.
Who knows?
Could look
But
it up.
all these strange things happen as it starts to build towards the climax. The father gets possessed. Izzy goes and finds the people, the Long family. Oh, that's her actual name. The Summers is what the family was called.
Oh, the other
Lucy,
family,
yeah, Lucy Summer. They
which is
go
so typical of this kind of movie.
they go and find her. She's on an oxygen tank, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, we get the backstory that the pool is possessed by, we assume it's an entity of a demon or something or other. And whoever gets possessed, there has to be sacrifice for it to like give you a wish and restore whatever. So the family
Well,
before sacrificed the other kid, well, the daughter, to be able to give life or health back to the other child. And then there's
because it
water,
was
like,
the pool was built on an old spring or like some natural water resource that before the colonizers, people would use, water's magic. People would throw coins and shit and whatever and make wishes. But the way that this magic water worked was you had to make a sacrifice in order to be saved or whatever. So the dad's being healed and the dad's being, looked after by the pool, by the water spirit, whatever the fuck that is. But and then the somebody has to die in order to, make the sacrifice or whatever. So but for some reason, like all of the family was getting haunted when initially in the Rebecca death, the first death, the cold opening, only one girl. I don't know. Who fucking knows? There's no plot. We're overanalyzing something they didn't even analyze at all.
It's so bizarre. Also, the special effects where they do this random like, here's a backstory. The kid's not really that good at baseball, but wants to. It's his day. He's going to go do it, and then the dad comes in and hits a home run, and him hitting a home run into and the ball hitting the light fixture was horrible. Like it was not rendered well. I just remember
It's a
that
very
going.
cheap movie. It's like 15 million.
I was like, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Sh-
There wasn't many moments of special effects, but you could tell when there were, they were like, all right, who's going to do this the cheapest? Who cares how good it looks? We've got, $500,000 spend on fucking special effects. Here, someone do it.
Yeah.
It would just
But
all
like
out for cheap as possible.
jump scares weren't good. There was like very, very minimal jump scares. They didn't even time the music well to like for a jump scare.
No,
Like it
they're
was
really lazy.
it was bizarre. They were like there was a delay and there wasn't even like suspense build up for a jump scare. They tried to do some like branching plot for the characters to give you some sort of like connection to them. Like the older the oldest girl in the family was like starting a new school, was
Yeah.
also the guy coming up going like, how tall are you? Will you be good for the swim
Yeah.
team?
Let me
That
show
is
let me see your arms, how long your arms are. It's fucking weird, bro.
Right, it was so weird, but it was just
Sent her to the Harold Holt swimming school. It's like the prime minister that died from drowning in Australia. Well,
yeah.
assumed he disappeared and we assumed he drowned.
Yeah, you mentioned me that. I didn't pick that up. You said the school was named after
Harold Holt.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I
He's
just
like our, I don't know, 15th prime minister or something, like somewhere around there, somewhere between 10 and 20.
yeah.
And
I don't
he
know.
disappeared. We don't know where, but we assumed he drowned.
I just got
Um,
distracted by the how long are your arms?
yeah, super weird.
I got hung up on that for a while. And then
There's
even
like,
playing Marco Polo. I was
oh,
like, oh my God.
so fucking, and why'd she keep her eyes? She was scared and like, she could tell she's like, it's not funny, and she's getting mad at him. Open your fucking eyes. You're playing a game. Who gives a shit?
Commitment to the game though.
Oh my
Props to
god.
her.
Props to her. And then they brought it back at the end when like it's in the climax and the dad's all scary and possessed. And he's like, Marco. And then he finds him. He's like, you meant to say polo. I laugh so hard. He has a moment too where they're talking to his like therapist or whatever, his like rehab therapist. And he goes, they're talking about something like obviously the pool, and he goes, have a pool. Has this big awkward smile on his face, and the camera like slowly zooms in on him. We have a pool. It was just a really weird moment with this big grin. Fuck,
Yeah.
man. I like Wyatt Russell. Russell White. What's his fucking name? Wyatt Russell. I don't mind him. He's in like an episode of Black Mirror. He's like, I've seen him in a couple of things. He's not terrible, but Jesus Christ, he's bad in this.
I mean, if you give it no direction, like
Literally.
it was like,
We're
do
making a movie.
whatever.
All right, give me some direction.
You got
You're
a
a
walking
dad.
stick. You used to be a
Yeah.
baseball player. You're doing rehab
Uh-huh.
in a pool. The pool's possessed.
Yeah. We have a pool.
There you
So many
go. Go.
problems.
Go. See what happens.
Also, like, get this son. His son goes up to him when he's like lifting weights or whatever. Your favorite scene, and he's like, "Mum said I can't swim alone." He's like, "Well, fuck your mother. Go swim alone." And he gives him a coin with a smiley face on it and sends the kid off into the water.
Well, so why are they
Come
throwing
on.
coins? Can't you get pool toys? Like the pool
Yeah.
tankies? Like
He was so excited to go fish for coins. Dad, can you come throw some coins in the pool? So excited. Like he couldn't do that himself.
weird.
And he's
Weird.
fucking swimming around and he hears this voice talking to him from the filter. He just swims up to him, sticks his arm in there. No fucking way. I hate horror movies when characters do not make logical decisions.
Just, ah.
Same with the kids. They're like, don't tell mom and dad because if you tell them, they'll have to move again. That's stressful. It's like you think a monster in the pool is more stressful than moving house.
I'm also confused with the ending because like someone
Fucking
pay
ending.
has to pay the price. How do they
Uh-huh.
explain that the dad's just not around anymore? Like, where does it
How do
go?
you die? Yeah, yeah.
Like,
They're like,
he,
oh, it's a tragic death. How do you die? I don't know.
where's the body? Like,
Drowned. Yeah.
like
Yeah, true.
what do they do with it? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, oh no,
Disappearance of a man. They fucking gonna arrest people.
yeah, like do they say, oh, he went on a business trip? Do they book a plane ticket and like all of a sudden there's no CCTV footage of him going into an airport? Like, how do they do this? Where does
It's a
it
very good
go?
point.
What do they do?
Yeah, without a body, especially. Like if he died in the pool and then, he drowned, like, okay, maybe he drowned in the pool and there's a likely story there. But yeah, no body. He disappears into the filter, supposedly.
Yeah. I, don't make a
Yeah.
sequel because I don't care that much. I'm just confused.
No, and they didn't actually set up a sequel, which I was so surprised. I actually rewatched the end because I was sort of half watching when it ended, and all of a sudden it just ended, and I was like, oh fuck, did they set up a sequel? Because normally that's what this kind of shitty movie does. But no, they like filled in the pool, and the last shot, which they must have thought was so cool, was like from inside the pool with the dirt being dumped on top.
Mm.
And then it just cut to credits. And I didn't really there was no like denouement where I knew what the characters were doing afterwards or what life was like without dad around or no.
Yeah. Look, I assume that this demon or whatever, because the demon was able to like increase the water at the Summers house, like the lady, like that little cut to the water filter when she was like explaining that someone has to pay the price and all
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
water. Like I'm assuming that whoever it stays with them for a period of time for because all of her phone and her bag got wet and then she was driving off. But when the dad they tried to get in the car and pull out, he was having like the
Yeah, like
the coughing spit or whatever.
yeah, he was drowning on land sort of thing.
But
Uh-huh.
the demon's able to, affect a water fountain a couple of kilometers away.
Yeah, like is this thing just connected to all water in existence, or is it just all water within like a 5 kilometer radius? Like, what are the rules of this thing?
What's the sequel?
Whatever the fuck they want.
Day drink or something? You get possessed if you drink water. Like, what are they going
Yeah,
to do? Or like day shower?
they shower. They like rains. Yeah,
Yeah.
full
Like,
sun shower.
what are they going to do? This was god awful, and
Yeah, no, I hated it.
I assumed it was going to be.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting good things, but it was like as boring as I expected. It wasn't even. Sometimes movies like this are so bad they're good and can be entertaining to some value, but I actually had it on and watched the first like 40 minutes, first maybe 30 minutes. Like fuck this. I started playing Fallout while I had it on my laptop instead. Like I just it's not entertaining. There's no substance to the story. The characters go through no development.
Mm,
You could tell the plot was literally just there's a demon in the pool. Let's make 90 minutes of film. Let's
yeah.
try and pad this out as best we can. And it was such a piece of shit. Fucking budget Christina Applegate. She looks so much like Christina Applegate, the
Oh,
main mum.
Emily Horifera?
I don't know. I'm looking her up.
I don't know. Izzy Waller was her name.
No, that's a
Oh,
child.
that's a child.
The
Yeah.
mother was Kerry Condon,
Kerry
Eve Waller.
Condon.
Kerry Condon. She looked budget Christina Applegate,
Yeah, right.
like 10
Which
years ago.
fair. She's in
Yeah, look,
a fair bit.
bad.
Mm,
No plot,
very.
weird acting, no direction. I'm looking for my notes now. Lazy jump scares. There's a jump scare when the fucking guy came out to explain about the whole like, oh, you're on a spring, this is natural water and whatever.
Oh, the
They did a
pool
jump
tech.
scare then. Yeah, the pool tech. He came out and like he touched like the diving board and they cut to like a little jump scare. Like, what the fuck? It's daytime. It's not a scary scene. Why are you just throwing out jump scares? Because we can. Yeah.
Just
No plot.
cause.
You're
No.
supposed to say polo. I wrote that down.
I feel like it would have been
Fuck.
scarier if the pool tech was actually like the demon. It was like, ha, double, got you
Have some
all.
twist. Have
Yeah,
something where I go, oh, that's interesting.
because he was
But
pretty odd.
he was a strange guy.
Like
Or
that
maybe he. And I'm so sick of like same thing with Boogeyman, same thing with was it the mother?
the mother
Forget. We've
was
watched a
Jennifer
couple horror
Lopez.
movies. Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. We watched a couple movies where the plot is just main characters don't know what's happening. They figure out someone who experienced it prior and they go speak to them, and then it's just an exposition dump about the lore of this entity, creature, whatever the fuck. and then they know everything they need to know now in order to save the day, and it's just the same format. Like, yeah, you take out the swimming part of this and the whatever, and you make it the boogeyman instead, only survive in the dark, and it is the exact same movie. But
Yep.
it made money. I looked at the fucking numbers. They made money. They haven't made a heap of money, but they've made like 5-10 mil.
Oh,
And for a movie
God.
that cost 15 million, there's no fucking risk. It's Blumhouse. It is such a smart and frustrating business model.
And they have pumped this too. Like they have gone like this is everywhere at the moment. It's on like what are they like? What are the posters on the bus ads like where you
Oh, right. I didn't notice
yeah, I've,
them.
I've seen them around. And like before the movies, they're pumping it pretty hard too. Like
Right. They
previews.
probably they probably put maybe 10 million into advertising then.
Yeah. And the other 5 million is just for the movie.
No, the actual filmmaking budget was 15.
That doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it, no. But so I'm just very glad I didn't pay to watch this.
Mm.
If I'd paid money to watch this, I'd be much more upset. Just paid time instead.
What would you give it then?
A one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on
I,
board with that. It's
I
a
don't know.
one.
Part of me was like 1.5 maybe because I can
No.
laugh at it, but no, it's a one.
No, it's shocking. It's shocking.
Just another
Uh
another Blumhouse film that proves his business model works.
yeah,
So
annoying.
we have a
But
pool, and you're supposed to say polo. The end.
it's just that's the best part of the film.
Made me
You're meant
laugh
to
pretty
say
hard.
it.
And I
Oh,
don't think Wyatt Russell comes across intimidating at all. So when he's meant to be like he's such a cutie of a guy. Like he's such a I don't know what the word is. It's just he's so uh unthreatening that when he's
mm,
meant to be this scary entity and possessed at the end, he just comes across as silly. I can't help
yeah.
it.
Oh well, let's move on to the Badlands and
Uh-huh.
the South Korean Badland Hunters. So yeah, one of the people in this film, whether it was the creator or one of the stars, is very famous in South Korean film. And I don't know which, because I remember reading the reviews and they kept saying this is something about not your average Ma Dong Soo's film.
Ma Dong Sok, yeah.
Yeah. So just
Uh, it
don't
is his
know.
average film though. He's the South Korean Jason Statham. He does
Right.
all this shit.
All right. This is the first time I've ever seen this bloke, and I was like, I don't know who he is.
Right. I've seen Unstoppable, which I know he's in.
Yeah.
I'm looking through his list now. What else have I seen? I think that's literally it.
Okay.
But I don't think this was too far from maybe it's like a new level of action for him.
Maybe.
But he plays like gangsters and
Okay.
thugs and yeah, I thought this was right up his alley.
Okay. I can see that. But anyway, let's get into it. So this is when an earthquake turns Seoul into a lawless badland. A fearless huntsman goes on a rescue. This is weirdly written. Huntsman goes on to rescue a teenager from a mad doctor who held the teenager captive in a camp full of dangerous cultists.
I wonder if
So
that's a translation thing.
I think it might be. That didn't flow very well for me. But this felt very Last of Us-ish. It had a very, I felt like a Last of Us kind of feel to it. You
Yeah.
don't think so? I think it did.
I mean, just post-apocalypse, if that's the only thing it takes to be Last of Us.
You know, Last of Us 2 with the cultists?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's cultists in Fallout.
I don't play Fallout, so I don't get the reference. So,
There's cultists in Book of Eli.
oh god, I enjoyed that film. It was a good
Fucking
film.
love that movie. I hate the
Mhm.
religious message, but fuck, I love that movie.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
so hard to watch post-apocalypse movies and not connect it because I love post-apocalypse. I love Fallout. I love Book of Eli. I love Last of Us. Things post-apocalypse is one of my favorite like settings, and that's sort of why I was not excited, but while I was like, this could be decent.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah,
kind of was.
kind of was. There was moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just establishing, obviously, the earthquake. I don't know the time period because all of a sudden the whole place was like almost June level, where it was like Mad Maxy June, like it completely turned
Yeah,
into a lawless Badlands. I was like, how much time has passed since this earthquake? So
yeah, because the doctor has an age, but he's also not meant to. I don't really know either.
no,
But you're right. And I also wrote like, I know I'm not meant to ask this question, but what's the rest of the world doing? Was this earthquake worldwide and every single country is now a fucking barren landscape, or is the rest of the world just don't care about South Korea?
and I wonder how many people died because like lots and lots
Yes.
of people in this area, like this is like the last of people just trying to survive together because they're in this like little colony or little camp, and you have our two obviously main protagonists, which is Nam Sang. I'm gonna butcher these names really, really badly.
Of course. It's on our language.
So I think it's not is it Nam Sang, which is
Yeah.
Ma Dong Su,
Mondong Seok.
and and
Nam
our
San, I think it is.
okay. So
Suna is the girl.
Nam Sa, he's our like troubled man with a past who's, you know, supplying food to their group of people, and people have to supply different things to trade because currency is obviously not established
Means
anymore.
nothing.
And
Yeah.
we have Jiwan, who's our like I'd almost say he's the comic relief kind of character in this because you've got
Yeah,
the
moments for sure. He's the offsider. We got look at
yeah
the main kick-ass guy who can take on 20 guys in a row, and then they've got his offsider who it's like the buddy cop sort of. Yeah.
yeah yeah. So the opening scene's him hunting, which is a crocodile. I'm confused that there's a crocodile there. Like there's
Yep.
there's no water.
No.
No, just crocodiles just cruising around,
Yeah.
which
It's
looks like a desert. And I don't know if do crocodiles need to go in water to survive? Like, can they
yeah.
just
The
survive out in land for like forever? Like, I actually don't know. Like, just,
do crocodiles
could be an alligator. I don't really know.
need to live in water?
Like, I'm assuming
Crocodiles
they.
need a pool of water. They need to submerge themselves.
Okay, so they do, which is
Yes.
it's bizarre that this crocodile is is out in the wherever they are. But that's not the point. They're hunting this crocodile. They kill the crocodile. They use it, chop it up to supply the village. And
Yeah.
as the village is all gathered, we get the group of people that come in and are like, well, they're like bounty hunters slash like
Yeah.
rogue-esque people. They come into the village and they're like, we're looking for this person, and then they see the love interest of the story,
The young guy.
which is Han Suna. So
Suna, they call her. Yeah.
Suna, yeah. And they're like, oh, we don't see people around your age. So this
Mhm.
leads to me to believe because like they haven't established if heaps of people had died or if it was like, was there a virus? I know there was an earthquake, but was like, why can't people repopulate?
I
Like,
assume that that's what that to me sets the time frame because like who after the world ends and everyone's died and there's no hospitals and whatever, people wouldn't be wanting to have children, and those who did have children probably wouldn't have a very high success rate. But like
yeah,
there'd be a lot of deaths. So I think because maybe this was 15 to 20 years ago, and therefore those who were young, who were born post apocalypse, are rarer. That's sort of my understanding of it, or my like guess, I guess.
yeah. It's never really established, but I feel like it kind of needed to just to give a little bit more weight to the story of how this
Yeah,
bloke is doing it. But
why that company wanted all the young, or they wanted the young people because the young people were the future of the company and whatever, but they
yeah,
didn't really go into detail of why there's less young people. And I don't know, there's a lot of moments in this I'm like, I shouldn't be asking the questions because they don't have the answers.
no, they're in there, they're hunters. So they come
Yeah.
in and they're like, we don't see people your age. And then all of a sudden we get to establish that Nam San is a badass, and he comes in
Sure is.
after his offsider cops one because they try and take Sun Yun, and he just destroys everybody. So you're taken out of if you're looking for realism fighting, this ain't it. This
No,
is a
this is like
man.
him punching someone and the person getting punched like 20 feet away.
Yeah. Does he have super strength? Like, is this a thing? Because it's like
Yes.
everyone he fights, he seems to have like ridiculously like
I know.
overpowers them. And I'm confused if like he has some like modifications or like
Yeah.
something because he's like some really well known like
And that could have been an interesting plot device because we do fight. The big bad at the end, the climax fight is him fighting a guy who is super enhanced. So
yeah.
the twist could have been he himself is super enhanced and escaped the facility or whatever. But no, he's just Jason Statham.
He's just super strong for whatever
Yeah.
reason. So you get these people that come in and like offer these people salvation, leads them off onto a trip, and then they split the old people, and then they take the young people because they need young people so that the doctor can. I'm not going to spoil this because I don't really care. Like, you're not watching this for the plot; you're watching it for the action.
No, 100%.
Yeah. So they take the young people, they take them to the facility, they take the old people who are worthless, and they kill them.
Ah,
Yep. They don't hold back on any like gore. Like, this is quite gory.
yes, which is one of the most commendable aspects
Yeah.
because Hollywood strays away from gore so often because they're worried about Chinese market and they're worried about family movies. Marvel, look at it.
Mhm.
This did something new. Like we see a man's head get ripped off, and they do it in a pretty graphic way. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So like the action and the gore are quite good. Unbelievable, but quite good at times.
Yeah. Did you
So
like, as someone who likes fight scenes,
mhm.
I roll my eyes every fight scene, whether it's sword battle or people punching each other. Did you like the combat scenes in this, the martial arts scenes in this?
I enjoyed it because there was like they didn't cut quick enough because there was pauses where they were like, pause, go. Like
And these
the
camera movements, they were just like Dutch left, Dutch right, Dutch left,
yeah.
Dutch right, Dutch left. Like it was just, okay. Anyway,
Like I laughed at one of them where you get the introduction of the army lady who like defected from the cultists because like
yeah.
her introduction was there was a guy standing with a gun, and then there's this weird awkward pause for like a second to almost 2 seconds, and she just comes in and like does this like flying drop kick into a takedown, and I was like,
All right, yeah.
he was standing there for ages.
It's quite a comedy. Yeah, there are moments that feel like action comedy, like with the timing,
Yeah.
but I don't think that was their intention.
I feel like it was their intention because there's even a point where they're trying to get information from these bandits or outlaws called the Tiger, and he was like, "You took my boxing career," and then all of a sudden he just like hits him one punch, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry," and then they're
Yeah,
getting information. He's like, "Oh, you don't know? Good night." It's just like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
one after the
That was
other.
definitely a comedy scene. Yeah,
So I don't know if they were like intentionally trying to go for some comedy aspect because
yeah.
drama wise, it's not hitting the drama aspect because
No, barely.
you barely established anything. Even the doctor's like motive to like try and keep his daughter alive, there was no like time spent. It was just like this is a convenient way that we need him to start
Yeah,
extracting some due to their gene or pituitary gland or something or other that
yeah. The
is
whole bad guy plot was convenience. The whole
yeah.
like super soldier, no one can die. Uh, it does. I like when movies again. It's that whole. I like when bad guys kind of have a part of them you can side with. Like if there is a doctor out there who can create unkillable people and people who don't age and whatever, especially in this post-apocalypse, it is a future of society. It does the means justify. Sorry, does the result justify the means? I don't know.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that with this character. But you're right. He became almost like too evil
yeah.
to a point, and became like, okay, now I can't side with him at all.
Like after the
They
reveal,
killed a lot of people.
didn't they? But yeah, because they even get questioned as soon as they get revealed. They're like, "Why aren't you giving water to people? Why aren't you bringing them in?
Yeah,
And like, why aren't you expanding?" And it was just like, "Because we don't want
yeah,
to." It was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah. Right. And she was asking the questions that we were asking, and it felt very self-aware. Like this character's asking the questions that we're like, why is he doing these things? It makes no sense. And then she's like, oh, why aren't you doing these things? And they're like, because we don't want to. What
It was like, oh, okay.
do you mean?
But like, it's
Yeah,
as far as the story, like, it's got a lot of plot holes. It's quite well paced. Like, it wasn't slow. It was like it
I
moved quite
agree.
quickly, and it was like I
Yeah,
had fun. It's just it was cheesy. The whole thing felt cheesy. The action felt gory. And it's like
yeah.
I had a reasonable time. I wasn't sitting there like dumbfounded or this was like groundbreaking, but it was like
No,
it was just an enjoyable ride. And I was like left either
definitely.
thinking, is this a bit of a parody or is this a bit of like, I'm just a little bit confused.
Yeah. Well, it's better than what are those other South? We watched that Warrior, Future Warrior, and Jung
Yep.
E.
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
better than them,
It's better than them.
but it's still not like good. I can't recommend this. I wouldn't say I enjoy the movie by any means.
Yeah.
Because like it's not like I'm not an action guy, whether it's made in South Korea, America, England, whatever. Like action movies aren't going to be entertaining for me. So, you know, it's not my genre, but I wasn't completely disinterested the whole
No.
way through.
They were, I don't know if they were intentional comedy, but it was like, do not stimulate her in any way. Why did you touch her? And then she just goes to like full breakdown. I didn't know that was like part of the stimulation part where like
I don't remember that part at all.
where the when the reveal like come see your daughter. Oh, your daughter is and she was on the table like what's her name's son New's
Oh,
best
the
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
the parents are in there and they're like, don't stimulate her in any way. And then she went to a full like she died on the table because the touch stimulated her brainwave or something or other. But then it was like, must drink the water. And she's like, I didn't drink a drop of your water.
No, I can't remember that scene at all. What the
uh,
fuck?
because then the reverse, like they were taking, how they got rid of the doctor because
Yeah, yeah.
he wanted to take her thing out because she didn't drink the water, which was never explained. But I'm assuming the water had some chemical thing to allow
Yeah, I
them to
assumed as well.
extract. Yeah, because she didn't drink, the doctor like took her, extracted her gland or whatever the
Thing
juice
on the
from the
neck.
gland, and then
Yeah, yeah.
injected it into himself. And because she didn't drink the water, he starts having like a full breakdown, like it
Yeah,
sends his
yeah.
body into shock. And then
Oh, right. I didn't
remember
drink a
it
drop of your
cuts to her
water.
and she's like, I didn't drink any of your water,
Oh,
not a
right.
drop.
No shit. That's
It's
right. That's right. Wait, do you watch double or sub?
dubbed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Maybe I should watch it dub. It might be funnier.
It was so funny. Even
Was the dub voice acting not too bad? Was it
it
one
was
guy?
no, it was better. They actually had because it was a reasonably small cast. They actually had some different actors,
Sure. Okay.
so it wasn't just the standard three actors from like Physical 100.
It felt like one of my notes I wrote, it felt like an anime. Like so many
Yeah,
times there was characters saying lines and laying there saying there's a moment where I think it was that main girl who got saved was laying down on like hospital bed or whatever, and she was delivering this big speech, and I couldn't help but picture a fucking anime with like shit happening in the background, and yeah, the arcs and the dialogue was very anime.
oh, even their chants when you first get introduced to the doctor and he's like, "Children are our future. Children are our future."
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. It's real weird. But like you said,
Uh,
it's that culty vibe. I kind of like that.
yeah.
And the
Even
grenade, like when people fucking over, I always laugh at like a grenade goes off in a room and just fucking every window blows out. Like grenades are not like TNT. They're not. fucking a giant explosive. They just a little explosion to shoot out shrapnel. Blows out this entire fucking floor of a building.
It's funny though.
Makes me laugh.
Even the lady who was like trying to sell or swap watches and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, what is
That reminded
happening
me of
here?
Kung Fu Hustle. That's what I wanted more of because I know not every South Korean film is made by Kung Fu Hustle man. Name I've forgotten. Stephen Chow? Doesn't
Stephen
matter.
Chow, yeah.
There you go. Uh, so I can't help but like watch South Korean films and want them to be Kung Fu Hustle. It's just the perfect South Korean movie, action comedy. And I wanted this to be a bit more silly like that was. And that's when I saw that character. I was like, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a good time. But they didn't have any more characters like her the whole way through.
No, but even when you're trying to set up this scene where even the opening where he shot the crocodile. Also, why did he set the arrow on fire? I was confused about that.
It's dramatic.
Yeah, but if I set it on fire, is that going to do more damage to the crocodile? Like
No,
if
of course not.
it goes
It's
in.
gonna go in and go out.
Yeah,
Like
why
it's gonna
did
the arrow's gonna go into them and the fire's gonna extinguish.
yeah, I was like, why'd you light that on fire? I was like,
No.
are you gonna set
Looks
set
cool
you
because
gonna set the ground on fire? And then
it's been filmed.
he's like, it's dead. Oh no! And then it's like the close up of the eye. He's like, oh no!
And it
And then
looked
you
like
got
shit, but that's
yeah, and
fine.
then you got old mate grab it by the tail. And it's just like,
Uh-huh.
"Chuck."
Just
I was
pulling
like,
it back.
oh okay, we're in for a bit of humor here. But
How
then
much does a large crocodile weigh?
I feel like that I don't know. Can you overpower a crocodile? Like I've seen crocodile shows where they like pull them by the tails and stuff, but I have no idea
A
if.
full-size male, that was a big crocodile.
Mm,
They can be, even our crocodiles can be up to 1,100 kilos. So they can weigh up to a ton, the massive ones.
wow, yeah, right.
So yeah, superhuman strength for sure. Because he just yanks it, just like pulls it out like it's a fucking, I don't know, like a chihuahua hanging in a door. Just eat.
Yeah, bizarre. But like
Pretty
overall,
silly.
I had quite a good time. Like you're not in here for the plot. You're not going, oh, that was groundbreaking. That was great storytelling. Like
Yeah.
it was enjoyable. It needed to be more
There's
silly.
yes, there are commendable moments. Like you said, I think the gore is a really good step in the right direction. It made the action scene a bit more entertaining because there was more like weight to the scenes because you got to see the fucking brutality. It's nearly recommendable. For me, it's right on the verge. It's a 2.5.
Okay.
I can't say it's a 3. It's not by no means a good movie, but there's a lot more to like about it than a lot of the fucking Marvel and DC that's coming out. So I didn't have a bad time. I got a little bored of the action scenes and stuff, and it was a very like stock standard plot, but a bit more interesting than other shit I've seen.
No.
2.5.
Okay. I gave it a 3. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just to go higher up, it needs to be sillier
Yeah.
because it was like it was self-aware. It was asking the questions. It was just like, that was
Yes.
we
But
need
don't be self-aware in a way that you point out your own plot holes,
this is pretty funny.
Unless you're making fun of it. But then they just double down on the plot holes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. Oh well.
Yeah. It was fun.
Could have been really, really fun though. Could
Yeah,
have
and
been.
that's what I wanted. I wanted Kung Fu Hustle post-apocalypse. Like I wanted
Yeah.
it just to be balls to the wall stupidity the whole way through.
Yeah. Could have
And
been better as a
Kung Fu
TV
Hustle's some
show.
really heartfelt moments. Better TV show, you reckon?
Yeah, if they actually fleshed some of it out. If they were like, we actually want to tell a better story, then you could have had like the backstory of the doctor, like, and have the connection with his daughter and be like, this is why I'm saving, rather than going, I'm going to save my daughter by taking a random as gene from people 18 or under.
Yeah, sure.
Like, there was
That stuff felt a little rushed.
yeah, there was no connection. It was just like, this is a convenient plot point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So,
think that's a cool, like that whole like sub, what do you call it? Like that whole community, I guess, the whole bad guys community was interesting enough that it needed more fleshing, I think.
mm,
Yeah, it's not a
yeah,
bad point. Maybe a mini series like 6 episodes would have been better.
yeah. Well, we got a movie, so
Mm,
yeah, it's worth a watch. But let's move on to Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Now, we all know that you're a big Donald Glover fan.
sure am.
I like him. I reckon he's really good.
Love him.
And
He can do no
this,
wrong. This
okay,
proves it.
okay, okay. So this is the third telling of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So this is what's the first one's? I don't know what the first one is, but I have seen the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's retelling of it.
Horrible.
It's not good. It's not good.
The original one is from 1941.
Okay.
It's directed by Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh,
It's a screwball comedy.
okay. There you go. Interesting. So this is two strangers land jobs with a spy agency that offers them a life of espionage, wealth, and travel. The catch: new identities in an arranged marriage. Yeah.
Yep.
So first episode
Which,
is about an hour. Yeah.
sorry, really quick, I'm struggling to remember the Angelina Jolie one. I thought they were, my memory of that movie, the plot, was they were a couple who both of them were lying to each other about their jobs.
Correct.
They were both spies, and then they both got the mission to kill each other.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But that's not what this is at all.
No. This is
I don't understand
this.
why they use the name.
I don't know. This is a different telling, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
get
Don't
into
know.
it. Go
I
for
don't
it.
know. So we have the two agents who are being recruited by this agency, who it doesn't get established who this agency is
No,
from
and they
memory.
didn't really know either.
No,
Mr.
but
Hi Hi.
yeah, they every message is introduced by this hi message, and then they're giving the assignment, and we get little bits of information of each. They accept the offer. They go to the house, and then it's some awkward interactions of being placed in an arranged marriage
Yep.
to begin with. And they're given their first assignment, which is to intercept a package from this lady. They're going to situate themselves in a bar, and away they go. I
And
want
away
your
they go.
Yeah, I want your insight because I messaged you saying I've seen two. Do I need to watch any more?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I'm so surprised you don't like it.
I found this so slow and boring.
That's why I like it, because
There's,
I don't think that spy movies need to be action movies.
but they're not even
I think
doing
that,
spy work, really.
yes, of course they are.
No, they're not. I was so
It's
bored.
espionage. They're going undercover and pretending to be people and like coming up on like I had the biggest smile on my face. And both scenes, the scene where they're in the first movie where they're like following the woman, first episode where they're following the woman and they're like coming up with plans on the fly on how they're gonna like get the box and get closer, da, 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 da. And then in the second episode when they're, he pretends to be one of the waiters and she's one of like the rich women or whatever. I had the biggest smile on my face the whole time because I love just watching them interact and come up with ideas. And the whole time that they're doing this, they're also regular people who are being forced into a fake marriage where they have to spend almost like they're living and working with a complete stranger where they spend all their time with them. She's completely closed off, antisocial, has barriers up. He lies and doesn't really know what to reveal to her. I find it so fun. I'm very surprised you don't like it.
This was a long 2 hours of two
Oh wow.
episodes. I was like, my God,
No
this
way.
is slow. It is so slow. There was some moments where I laughed, like episode 2, where they're pretending to be dogs. I was like,
I knew
this,
you'd find that bit to be funny.
yeah, I was like, this is this is pretty awkward. And the whole interaction with that part was like, that's pretty funny. But then the rest of it, like I don't find either of them that likable at all.
Wow.
I don't find
Nah, I
it
love them both.
I don't find their interactions like interesting. I found like I laughed at Glover's where he's like, it was hot in here. I took my t-shirt off. It was
Yeah, yeah.
like I laughed at that. But the rest of it, I'm not interested in it. I just find it
Oh,
so slow.
wow. Whereas I love don't know. I think I say this a lot, but it rings true. I love when characters feel like people, and I think slow pacing makes it more believable. Like these are, by the end, I've only seen 2 episodes as well because I ran out of time. I do want to watch more. I will watch more. Uh, but after only 2 episodes, they still barely know each other, and they do sleep together. And at the end of the second episode, but you can tell it's more of like a heightened because they're horny because the day was exciting. They end up killing someone accidentally, but the day was an exciting day. The adrenaline's pumping, things like that. It's less to do with the romance. I like that you can tell that Donald, like John Smith, is he's into her and he's trying to like test the waters, and whereas she has no interest in him romantically. They feel so real. Ah, fuck. I'm so surprised you don't like it.
No, no. Look, it's
Wow.
it's it's not what I was expecting though. Look, probably coming in, having seen the other film, knowing it was like a spy espionage kind of like,
Fucking action shoot 'em up movie.
yeah, and like the opening scene where the couple were in the house and they were like, I don't want to run anymore. And then you start with that big like shootout.
Yeah, true. That's a bit misleading.
And then you go into just these two people awkwardly interacting, recruited into this spy situation.
Hmm.
I was like,
I think
oh,
it's ramping.
okay,
I think later episodes are gonna be more action packed. Like they've said, they're sort of easing them into it. There's an
potentially.
explosion in the first episode. You like explosions?
I do. I do. I quite liked when they're actually doing the action parts, like when they were getting the lady intercepting the package. I was like, oh, that was cool. Like when he was when it confronted the bloke, so he went and kicked the
Yeah,
stool
yeah.
over and
Keep my
was like,
daughter's name out of your mouth or whatever he
yeah,
says.
I like I like that, and it was a good like spy switch of the package. But then after, I was like, oh, okay, we're back to this. I just feel like
But
for me, there's not enough of that the spy espionage stuff, and
that's
there's
real life. People
no,
who are spies, when they're not during the night, when they're sleeping at home, they're watching cartoons and chilling out, and that's why I love like I like when movies and shows can give us these introductions to the organizations and the worlds we have no connection with, but we can also spend time in a grounded situation where people are just hanging out and watching TV and having coffee and
uh,
getting to
I,
know each other.
I don't want to watch that though.
Oh wow.
I want
Nah,
I want
that's
the
so
good bits.
you want the whole thing to just be every episode is just another espionage from start to finish, then the shootout at the end, then the next episode they do the same thing again.
Fubar, yeah.
Fucking foobar. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad it wasn't like that.
Ah,
Oh, I love them both. Maya Erskine is the voice of fucking Mizu in Blue Eye Samurai.
okay.
Donald Glover is Donald Glover. He can do no fucking wrong.
Whoa,
I love
whoa.
this.
This is his first one he's done wrong.
Nah,
Yeah.
not even.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Top,
like Atlanta then.
no, same thing.
It's slow. Again, it's real people. I think that's where Donald Glover shines.
Okay.
Is he's so he's genuine. His characters come across as genuine.
Okay.
Feels like a real person when I watch him on screen. And I know
Yeah.
there's a bit of bias here because I do love him. And but I was fully prepared for this to be shit because I hated Mr. and Mrs. Smith and I don't like spy movies because every spy movie ends up in a shootout at the end. I'm
Okay.
so glad this isn't that.
All right. Because I really liked him in Community. I thought he was great in
It's,
Community.
it's completely different. It's
Yeah, I
apples and
know.
oranges, a completely different comparison.
Just saying. I didn't mind him as the voice of Simba either.
Oh, fuck off. You can't even talk about that movie. No. Oh, come on. Sorry, he has done one wrong, and that is the voice of Simba. And you can see in every interview he's in how awkward he feels about being part of that.
Yeah.
He hated it.
Yeah.
No,
I
Don't
like
you dare bring up fucking live action Lion King.
I also like
It's
Him as Aaron Davis as well in the Spider-Man. I thought he was pretty good as
oh
well.
right. Yeah,
I
sure. It doesn't mean much to me.
can't wait to see him as Prowler. I hope he's Prowler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
But
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
love this. It's great. I'm actually excited to watch more. I'm probably gonna watch more this afternoon if I can get myself away from Fallout. It's a 4 for me.
Yeah,
An
right.
easy 4, nearly a 4.5. I need to watch more, but it's really good. I think it's paced beautifully.
Cool. It's a one for me.
A 1. You're fucking
Yeah.
cooked. You can't say this is as bad as Night Swim.
Oh, I had more fun in Night Swim.
You're fucking broken.
Oh, whoa, all right, mate.
How can you put this in the same level as Night Swim, dude?
What?
Then you also put this in the same level as Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheek story. There is no way you consider this as bad as those two.
The spy stuff was pretty good. I'll give it 1.5 because the spy stuff was all right. I laughed at the dog scene.
God,
Yeah, there you
the
go.
dog scene
Yeah, yeah.
with what's his name again?
I know
John Turturro.
he always plays some eccentric bloke though.
Yeah, I love him. I love him. I can't stop thinking of him as if you see Mr. Deeds, the Adam
Yeah,
Sandler.
yeah.
But he's sneaky, sir. But I think you're underestimating the sneakiness, sir. He's great. John Turturro.
Yeah.
Oh, it's broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is what it is. You just have
how
to
dare you?
tell me how it goes because I'm not
It's
watching it.
great.
Nope. But next
Next
week
week,
we still have Boy and the Heron on our list.
do we?
Yeah, we'll get to it sometime.
Sure.
And we have the new one of the new animes that is out. It's called Undead Unluck. It looks absolutely insane.
Looks wild, yeah.
We have also another Japanese showing, which is Lawson's pick, which is Monster, which is a Japanese film that has been winning some film awards currently.
Yeah, short film festivals. I wanted to watch it at the Adelaide Short Film Festival, but never didn't make it there. So
Yep.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. Hopefully not like the super good things you heard about. What was it? -1.
That was
Mm,
also great.
mm,
Kidding me?
mm.
Don't you dare.
And then we've got the newest trending show from the team of that brought you Narcos. It is Griselda. Griselda? I think that's how
I
you
think
say
that's
it.
about right. Griselda. It could even be a Z sound, Griselda. I'm not sure.
No, which is starring the oh, what's her name? I've forgotten her name already. She's from Modern Family. So Sophia, is it Sophia? I want to say Sophia. I don't.
Sophia Vergara,
Yeah, her. I always found her very
which
funny.
I did not recognize her at
Mm,
all.
yeah,
She looks so different.
crazy. But I'm keen for those. And you know what to do. If you are listening on Spotify, there's a 5-star rating. Next week, we might have a new format for you if you're watching the video. Who knows? But what we do ask is you tell your friends, hit us up in the Discord, and let us know if you want us to watch anything.
Tell your friends.
See you
Yeah, give us
guys.
recommendations if there's new things coming out because we sort of just grab whatever we want to watch. But things you want to make us watch, we'll watch them, especially if
Yep.
they're new.
Yep. We'll see you guys next time. Please.
Love yous.